Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today's topic is from the IBESS topic 4. That is water and aquatic food production systems in societies, and the subtopic is 4.3 aquatic food production systems. So that's what we're going to be looking at in today's video. So firstly, let's look at some organisms that actually maybe are consumed or just take place in the aquatic food production. So the first thing is algae, which is a human food source. We have agar shells, which is like around which is 30 million tons per year, and it's mostly harvested in the Southeast Asia. So we have fish, which is also another very important aquatic food production system component. So fishes are commonly harvested for human consumption. Animal bagged food, fish oil is also another really important source, which is like having a source that's fish. Food for aquaculture, gelatin, fertilizers, and etc. We have shellfish, for example, scallops, shrimps, lobsters, which is again for human consumption, and others, for example, reptiles like turtles and crocodiles. All of that they've included in the aquatic food production system. I also include amphibians like frogs and mammals like whales and seals and dolphins. Let's move ahead now. So this is just general thing that y'all just need to know for like examples, etc. That the food prices have been thoroughly increasing recently, and there's increasing meat and fish consumption in which is MEDCs and LEDCs. More economically developed countries and less or maybe low economically developed countries, right? So more of them have a staple of crops, and fish are being used for their animal feed. Then we have farmland, which is used to grow biofuels. Land is becoming more expensive because it's, of course, a scarce resource and is limited. World oil prices are also unstable. Transportation prices are therefore increasing because obviously there's high demand because of increasing population, which is like the root of all of this. Then we have the comparisons of terrestrial and aquatic systems. So firstly, MEDCs, we generally want to have large varieties of foods because they're more economically developed, people are more earning more, so they have more demands. And of course, they also have a healthier diet, so they want to focus on what they eat and be specific for that, including a large variety of foods which have a large variety of nutrients. This also means that there's a greater demand for meat and fish. Moreover, rising population and changes in like population demographics, it's a thing that of course matters because it's an MEDC. As I said, more economically developed countries. Let's see what's terrestrial farming. The trophic level is low because you don't go to a high trophic level. For example, a herbivore or an arable farming could be a terrestrial farming. And fish farming, which is an aquatic farming, generally harvests in high trophic levels. For example, like bigger fishes, not like on the lower, for example, algae or something. You don't harvest algae as such as you harvest bigger fishes or like smaller fishes at least, which is still on a higher trophic level. The second law of thermodynamics shows that more energy must be put into the aquatic system to harvest the same amount of biomass. So you need to input more to get the same amount of output. This is kind of what it looks like. So over here you can see, I'll explain this a little bit. This is where your aquatic comes. I'll just write A, aquatic. And this is where your terrestrial comes. For example, over here you can see these are the lower trophic levels. This is the first trophic level. Obviously, for the agriculture, everything comes right over here. But for fisheries, we literally eat these tuna and salmon and shea breams and herring. All of them come on a fourth, third, or fifth trophic level. So it's a higher trophic level as compared to the terrestrial system. So fisheries and sustainability is something we need to also take into account for this chapter. So quickly, like overview for this, fisheries are like sustainable if the rate of removal is less than the rate of growth, but if not, it's really overly exploited, which is literally what's happening nowadays. And major of the fisheries are overly exploited. A maximum sustainable yield, which is MSY, which is here, everywhere, occurs when the population is increasing at its maximum rate. So it's increasing, but when the above maximum sustainable yield is reduced, above MSY, yield is reduced, competition for resources is increasing, and yield is decreased due to a small population. So there's less of the maximum amount of population that would increase if there's a smaller population. Let's move ahead. Sea fisheries and sustainability. So there are two major problems with the global sustainability of sea fisheries. So first is the tragedies of commons. Sorry, I just could not. My tongue was slipping a lot. Anyways, the tragedy of the commons, which is every country wants to catch their fish in their own terrestrial waters before the stocks leave and head to the other countries for the fishing and creating their sea fisheries and or exploiting the others resources as well. And this short-term gain, like for example, it's easy and you would want to do it tempting to see the greatest gain over short term rather than looking about the conservation of the fishes for the longer term. This is what the possible conservation strategies could include: reduce the size of fishing fleets, reduce the amount of fishing that you're doing, reduce the size of individual fishing boats, because that also, like the more boats, the more pollution, etc. Reduce net and mesh size, which means that this will help prevent juvenile fishes to be caught, which can then spawn. Closed seasons, they should have closed seasons, for example, like particular times they should not fish so that the population can recover, and exclusion zones, marine protected areas, so that they can conserve and allow fishes to really grow and just be themselves and like be happy. Then we have marine hunting, which is like hunting of seals and dolphins and whales, bigger mammals. This is of course in the Western world because it's more unethical. Moreover, marine mammals seen as intelligent and close relatives of humans, so many hunting methods seen as causing unnecessary pain, example harpooning and clubbing, which are really harmful. Some species have been driven close to extinction, and hunting of fur seals involves killing juvenile animals. However, hunting may play an important role for many indigenous communities, for example, in Inuit, but it's not the most practical and good thing to do. Aquaculture. Aquaculture is farming of aquatic species. It could be freshwater or marine, not just for the food source, for commercial products, for commercial use as well. Aquaculture is increasing as fisheries are declining because there's overexploitation, there's open and closed systems, both. Open, which are created by caging species in an existing habitat, for example, a riverine or coastal, or closed systems such as tanks situated in inland. And I'll talk about the environmental impact of aquaculture lastly. So, loss of habitats. For example, mangroves need to be replaced with closed systems, for example, cage fish or shrimp. Generation of sediments, for example, from the faces, it's smoothing benthic habitats and creating anoxic conditions. Generation of nutrients, again from faces, which would create algal blooms and eutrophication of freshwater. Contamination of water with antibiotics and hormones. Population pollution caused by anti-fouling paints, which of course contain the toxins out from the industrial areas, and spread of disease because of densely packed populations, especially in highly populated countries. Escape of farmed animals. For example, they may outcompete or prey on their indigenous species. Attraction of predators which may become trapped in cages. Very self-explanatory. So I think that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye!